Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Conqueror 565 with an onboard tank. These videos are essentially how to get yourself started and going if you were getting yourself to site. Starting off first, you've got your hitch head at the front. Pull this up, then pull up your black lever, wind down your jockey wheel onto your tow ball. Then once it's on, that black lever will snap down, pushing up this red button, exposing a green ring. Got your breakaway cable underneath. If you have an eye point for your breakaway cable, legally it has to be used. If not, just put it around the tow ball. Handbrake just here, jockey wheel to go up and down and level. Then you do have 13-pin electrics. So if your car has 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. If you do have to use an adapter for whatever reason, you may lose some functions through the actual caravan, such as Alco ATC or the fridge operation. But if you've got 13 to 13, that's no need to worry. Using our test equipment today here, so I've got a red propane gas bottle with an in-date black gas hose. Black gas hoses run for 5 years, so this one's dated 2025, takes me up to 2030. The gas hose itself connects onto this regulator just here. Once both sides are firmly connected, you can hand tighten it to an extent and then just nip it up using a spanner. Then you can feed your gas in the positive or open direction like I have already done. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill part and attach it to a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using the legs, they are simply used for stabilisation. Then on the opposite side, started off first, we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler whilst operating on gas. Just next to it, you have an external shower point. For that, you have to get yourself an external shower point to actually fit onto it, and then it's just a case of running it. That will run from the onboard tank. Then just here, you have 2 inserts, and these are both for your water. The top one, as it says just there, is direct to your onboard water tank. So when you fill that up, I will show you inside on the actual panel what it looks like. But right now, underneath, this is direct acroll to your taps and to your shower. That bottom one is just to straight up use your acroll. The top one is to fill the onboard tank to then be able to utilise the tank itself. Just next to it, we have your battery locker. That is where your battery would sit. Then you have your insert for your mains. A little bit of a cutout just here so that you can lock up the locker itself and not have to worry about anyone yanking out your mains lead. Moving along, got 2 inserts here for your wastewater. Now this will come from both your shower and your sinks. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master that you can then take to the correct point on site to empty it. Lastly, at the end, got toilet function. Top one is for your flush tank. Get yourself a watering can or something like that. This tank itself can hold around 12 litres. However, you don't want to overfill it, so I'd recommend putting in around about 10. You could also add a little bit of pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive. It also makes it smell a bit nicer, but it is an essential. And just below, you have your cassette toilet. To remove the cassette toilet once it's full, press up on this orange handle, pull out just like so. You can also extend out this orange handle and turn it into a little bit of a suitcase. Then once you're at your emptying point on site, twist that head to the side, open up the cap. You want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually press in this button here to vent. What I would recommend afterwards, now this is an essential, open up that tank bit there, feed in some fresh water, shut it all back up, a little bit of a shake, and again, same as before, tilt and vent. Then on this cap here, you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes onto that cap, back into here, twist it to the side, push it back so that the cassette toilet, the orange head, sits behind those white teeth. Now you don't want to travel with either of these too full, so to fully empty this flush tank capacity, you have behind it just up here, little water pump, open it up, drains off any remaining water. Now the caravan itself will be fully drained off before you leave with us. Then underneath your right hand side seat, you have all of this. First up, you can remove this part here to expose your boiler. Now, the main thing is, this black box is your onboard tank. I can open this part up here and see the amount of water inside the actual onboard tank. And you can also see on the panel the level, which I'll show you in a minute. At the bottom, you have yellow drain valves. Now, we are going to drain off the caravan completely before you leave. When they are in the current position that they are, which is the horizontal, that is allowing water to flow through. When they're in the vertical position, that is draining off any water inside the system. On the side here, you've got your battery charger. And then just here, you have your brain box for your motor mover in case you ever need to do a reset. For the actual internal tank supply, you have a valve which shows you what way you need it to be able to drain off the actual system. So the drain system, it's a case having two bits here up. For the external supply to come in, it's having them in the correct position and then having this switch on the side in pointing, well, west, either way. And then the top one, the valve facing towards the bottom, and two switches facing down like so. What I just showed you on that sticker is relating to this toggle just here. So as the toggle is currently facing down, that is internal tank supply. If I want to use the external supply, I switch it to the side just like so. Then just above here, we have your main control panel. Turn this on, you've got a power button, shows mains coming into the caravan. You can view the levels for either the vehicle battery or leisure battery by pressing in view levels. And it also shows me the amount inside the water tank. So right now the water tank is 3/4 full and we have 14 volts coming in from the leisure battery, which is actually coming from the mains. When you're not plugged in and just want to see the amount of charge in the leisure battery, just press that button or press in on the actual dial itself. Then just here, we've got two buttons. First one, water pump. Press that in and you can hear the pump kick in and begin to circulate water about. You can see it flash on and off just there. And then you also have a button to fill tank. So when you are plugged in with the correct hose itself, then you fill the tank. So that is the top hose into an roll and just fill it in. It will then show you the amount of level inside the actual system. You switch the valve, which I showed you just in the correct position, and then you're able to utilize it. However, right now we are using the external supply into the caravan. So just press in the water pump button. Then what you would do, you'd come over to your taps, open it up on both cold and hot, and what you're looking for is that nice steady continuous stream. As I've only just plugged it in, it is going to be a slightly weaker stream. If you haven't used the caravan a little bit of time, or you've just plugged it in just like I have, I'd recommend waiting about 2 to 3 minutes to let it circulate through, and then just open up your taps on both cold and hot, and you'll get that nice steady stream. But in a quick summary, view levels shows you leisure battery and water, power on and off button, water pump for the external, and fill tank. Then just here we have your Alder panel. So this is your home screen here. It tells you the current internal temperature of the caravan. Press menu button here, and then everything from here is touchscreen. The top one tells you the internal temperature of the caravan that you desire. Using the touchscreen, you go up and down in 0.5. Whatever you set it to is what temperature the caravan will get to. Takes around about an hour. Then you've got your shower icon. Starts automatically at halfway. Halfway means off. Then press it in, that gets it to full. That will then begin to heat the water to around about 50 degrees. You'll know it's on because that icon is now lit green. Then you have your energy source. So you can either run off strictly gas by pressing it on there. If you don't want to run it, you press off. Or you can run on either 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of electric. Or you can run on a mixture of both 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts and gas at the same time. For now, I'm just going to run on 2 kilowatts of electric. Then I've got some additional settings just here. A lot of it is very mundane, but there are a few parts like screen brightness and a few other bits. If that is something that you like to know a little bit more about, please have a look inside your book pack and do a little bit of research. But quick summary: internal temperature, water temperature, and then the 2 different energy sources. Then to turn this panel off, press in on that button there. Then just here we have your Dometic fridge operation. So to turn this on, you press and hold in on this button here. There we go. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case was mains on full capacity. You can change the source from either mains, gas, just press in the button, and you can hear the gas, it begins to gradually tick in. Then once it's finished ticking, that means it is then lit on gas. And then this back one here, that is not for your leisure battery, that is for when you're plugged in with 13-pin electric. So when I press it now, flash up, it's a hazard. So we'll just keep it on mains. Then just here, you've got your temperature gauge. So you can either have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to bring in the most amount of power into the fridge and chill it faster. Now it does take around 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill. Then to turn this off, press and hold here on the power button, and you can see no more LEDs, meaning it's no longer active. Then here we have your hob, grill and oven operation. So only main difference is the electric plate, everything else runs off gas. Electric plate, just turn it to the correct gas mark and it will gradually get to that temperature. Everything else, it's a case pressing the dial, twist it to the side, pressing the gas igniter like you would standard to any sort of gas cooker. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, nice blue clean continuous flames. Now when you first initially do come to plug in the gas, what I'd recommend doing is come over and check all of your cooker is working. And just below you've got your grill. As you can see, both sides nice and lit. And finally you've got your cooker operation. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. There you go, all nice and lit. Only other real thing to note, you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all of these burners are cold to the touch. Then we have your toilet operation, which you might say is bog simple. Lift up the lid here and you can see when I press in that motor, well here even, that the motor whirs and that will push around any water inside the flush tank system out into the bowl. Then to empty it, press that handle away, opens up the catch, pull it back and shuts it up. Simple as that.